that offense that has 2 straight third down stops.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, hey, this is the type of game where you're supposed to be running over the Seahawks, and when you're going out 3 and out, that's an indication of mental lapses. It's an indication of, hey, you didn't come here to play.
Yeah, they seem to have not left the bus, and that's been the case for 3 straight road games now, as we have yet to conclude this one. But they won in overtime against an unranked Saddleback team, and against Grossmont, it was the same exact thing. Zamora with the line drive kick. It'll be taken on a hop at around the 25-yard line. Out to the 30, spin move to the 32, and he's tripped up right about there. That'll be a return of 7 by LA Harbor. Kunute Morris there on the run back, and the Tigers with a little extracurriculars. We saw that a bit last week as well.
It's something that they're known for officially, right?
Really?
I mean, hey, but it's good to see the Seahawks playing with a lot of emotion despite being heavy underdogs in this one. Hey, they're coming to play, it seems like.
Well, Riverside defensively has as well. They are the number 1 run defense in the state of California, allowing only 69 rushing yards per game, and they have stymied one of the best running backs in a losing ball club, LA Harbor's Darren Walker, under 30 yards rushing today. He flanks the quarterback. It's a trio to the far hand side. 4 wide receivers, Waters to the near side. Pope looking, floats it far side to a wide open target, but that'll be out of the hands off a diving attempt by Brandon Boyd. That would have been his first catch and the biggest today, but an incomplete pass, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that would have been his first catch and his first touchdown, having an open lane, trying to dive for the ball, but just way too long. If it was right in his hands, we could have been calling a touchdown.
Well, Nicholas Pope, only 43% completions today. We see some of the footwork issues, and that passing accuracy has been a problem for Pope despite picking apart Santa Monica in their win last weekend. Back to throw is Walker, no delay. There goes Darren to the 40. Has room across midfield. He's loose to the 40, 35-30. Outside to the 20, cut back to the 10, and he's thrown to the turf at around the 6 by number 6 to Sean Broughton. But that was a gash against the number 1 defense in the state. There is a penalty back, and that may put all the yardage back by the Seahawks, holding against LA Harbor. I was surprised that the hole was that big, but the Tigers have got to be able to stop long runs like that short of the first down.
Well, that holding call could have explained the big run right there. I mean, hey. That's a very rare occasion that we see a big run like that, or even a big play given up by the RCC Tigers. Usually they're stopping everybody, and you've got to be able to get them in small chunks in order to score.
Well, LA Harbor has actually been one of the best least penalized football teams in California. They were only penalized 11 times, and that was among their most this season.
Right.
As the Harbor Seahawks have actually been relatively solid and only had a couple miscues in that win against Santa Monica, but they're playing a much bigger beast in the Riverside Tigers. Now, negate the long run, that would have been a big play to put LA Harbor back in this game, but now a 2nd down and 10. It'll be right back to where they were to start the drive. Back to throw is Pope, looking left, hangs it in the air. The coverage was made by Ray Ford, going to Waters, incomplete. Now 3rd and 10.
Wow. RCC has a lot of trust in their cornerbacks right there, going one-on-one, no safety help, and I guess it's an indication of how much of, I wouldn't say a lack of respect you have for the Seahawks, but hey, when you've got cornerbacks like these guys right here, you might as well go single coverage and send in a blitz.
Well, it's great to see the trust that Pope has in his freshman target, Marquise Waters, who leads the team with 22 receptions for 238 yards. And we've seen that he's gotten the better of Ray Ford on a couple occasions, but not on this one as he jumps the snap. That'll be offsides against LA Harbor and put him back 5 now, 3rd and 15.
Yeah, just another penalty right there.
That'll be number 5 today for LA Harbor. There's no reason why the referee should even be negotiating. But as we take a look at that defense, I mean, what impresses you the most, despite that long run there on 2nd down?
The ability to play single coverage. You could leave your cornerbacks on an island and let them operate by themselves without safety help, and that just allows your defense to send in an extra man, help out that defensive line to get to the quarterback, and that's always a luxury to have.
always a luxury. This is a ball club that ranks among the best as far as interceptions. They've tallied 10 this season and are looking to make another one here on a 3rd down and 5. Nearly had 2, but a couple drops have kept this thing close. A couple pick 6 have been negated back. 3rd down from their own 38. Tigers jumping. They rush 6. Hangs it over the middle, and it's incomplete. Another ball that's off the hands of Marquise Waters, and no flag is down. The Seahawks have to punt.
Yeah, they went to the same play that they ran 2 plays ago. It's that short intermediate post to the outside, and hey, it was a single coverage, but just poorly thrown once again.
It's getting very chilly here in Los Angeles. The temperature has dipped down to below 65. Very unusual temperatures here right next to Los Angeles and Long Beach, California. With 10:48 to go, Riverside leads 14-3. Also a swirling wind, which has affected our punter, Jack Moore. He's standing at his own 35 and boots this one high and away, an end-over-end kick, and it'll bounce towards the sideline, and the referees mark it out at the 22. Riverside off of their last 3 possessions, a couple 3-and-outs, and don't forget about that pick down there at the goal line.
Yeah, it's an offense that should have been up probably 28-3 if I'm counting right, but it seems like there are a few things that they need to work on, or they're working on. Maybe they're running a few new things since they're playing the Seahawks, a team that should not be able to hang with them.
It looks like this team in the Riverside Tigers.
Colorado Buffalo 28, the USC Trojans 56.
USC dominant over Colorado. Many expected that. As we'll get your scores from around JUCO and the NCAA in a matter of moments. Handoff goes to Anderson, who's able to wrestle his way down to the 29-yard line, a gash for 6.
Yeah, and they continue to run the ball. It seems like the game plan is to have Nicholas King sit in the pocket as much as he can, practicing that ability to throw. And 2, running the ball for sure.
This is the number 1 rushing offense in the conference, and they've showed their dominance again. Single back handoff to Anderson. A flag is down as the play picks up 2. And we'll check the penalty. That would be the 2nd marker against the Tigers. And yes, it is. It's a holding penalty against Riverside. 10:08 to go, 14-3 our score, and we're just about set for halftime here, Dan. The Tigers are looking for their first touchdown in over 15 minutes here on the road.
Yeah, like we've said, they should have been up bigger now. But with this penalty, it doesn't help them at all. And the penalty woes continue for RCC, right?
They absolutely do. An update here from the junior college scoreboard. Mount Sac is trailing Citrus by 7 here in the early stages of the second quarter. We have our play-by-play man, Chris Sylvester, on tap there from Hill Lodge Stadium, Second down and long. King looking, swings it out near side to Anderson. Leaping grab 25, and he scurries out of bounds at around the 27-yard line. More scores from around the junior college world. 17-13, Long Beach City College over Chaffee. That score is right near halftime. We'll get you more updates as soon as we can bring them to you here from Los Angeles, California. Now a 3rd down and 5, Dan, a situation where Nicholas King has struggled. 0 for his last 3 in 3rd downs today. Stallone and Marenko are the receivers in the slot. Christopher Anderson, the halfback. Again, 3rd and 4. Shotgun snap. King looking right. Pass rush coming. In trouble. Floats it to the sideline and out of bounds. That'll be incomplete. 0 for 4, Dan, on 3rd downs. Those woes continue for Riverside.
Very unlike the Riverside Tigers. Usually with Nick King, they've been pretty effective on 3rd down. And so this is a rare occasion, and it might be just, I feel, in my opinion, just overconfidence on the Riverside side. I don't see a lot of energy. I don't see a lot of yelling, hooting, and hollering on that sideline over there.
We did to start the game. Remember the Ryan Ramirez catch where he literally ran over a defender? That sideline was ready to go. Now, not only has the weather turned to a chilly 60, but that sideline has turned to an ice-cold stare as the Tigers have slowly let that lead slip away. It's still up by 11, but it's against one of the worst teams in California, the LA Harbor Seahawks. Canute Morris returns to the 32. More scores from around junior college. Out of the North Santa Santa Monica was a ball club that was regarded as one of the best, but they lost today. San Mateo, same story. They won by 3 over Santa Rosa, 24-21 final. And also a team that you expected to struggle in the season. They have played well, but maybe an overrated ball club. You've thought so yourself. American River, they win only by 2 over a now 2-4 Siskiyous ball club.
American River is the number 1 team, or well, is considered the number 1 team in the state, and with that,
that should have been a loss, really.
Yeah.
And now we'll get the rankings on Monday, but I'm sure American River will drop at least somewhat in the standings. Pope rolls out of the pocket. Mitchell's chasing him, and he just slings that one away, nearly intercepted by Ray Ford. Bring up a 2nd and 10.
The pressure again, as usual, of the defensive front of RCC getting to the quarterback there, forcing a bad pass there.
14-3 Tigers lead. Again, thank you for joining us on the National Sports Radio Station on Spreaker.com. Dan Gadino along with you. Nick Rice joining you here from Los Angeles, California. LA Harbor Seahawks 1-5 on the season, giving the Tigers everything they bargained for and more, as they've kept this thing to within a 2-possession ball game. Darren Walker dots the I, a 3-wide set. Tigers operate out of the nickel package. 5 defensive backs against 3 receivers for the Seahawks. Handoff goes to Walker across the 30, and he's able to fight his way to around the 35. Darren Walker's been bottled up today, Dan.
Yes, he has, and now it's a 3rd down. It's the best they do. It's on 3rd downs is when they play their best. Last week against the Hornets, they held Fullerton to just 1 3rd down conversion out of 14. 1 of 14 they held the Hornets. That's impressive, nearly perfect.
That defense was amazing. The only problem is on that 4th down, the touchdown to kind of keep that thing close.
Right.
That ruined the record of in-conference play, giving up 0 TDs until that one in garbage time to keep Fullerton close. LA Harbor's been close as well. 3rd and 8. Pope off a bootleg. Hangs the ball deep, going 1-on-1 to Marquise Waters. Nearly intercepted by Ray Ford, and he's kicking himself. That was nearly his 3rd pick of the season, but it's a 3-and-out by LA Harbor. They have to punt. A nice little flip-flopping a series here to begin the 2nd quarter.
Well, Nicholas Pope missed what should have been his intended receiver down on the flats. He was totally wide open, electing to just throw it up in the air, and it was batted incomplete.
Yeah, Ray Ford has been tested here in the first half. But our nice little sophomore returner here with 4 picks last year, he's 4 for 4 against Marquise Waters today. It's been a nice little performance here by that secondary for the Tigers for sure. 14-3 Riverside with 8:15 to go in the first half. Here on the National Sports Radio Station, Jack Moore's punt's nearly blocked. It's a line drive boot that will take a extremely favorable LA Harbor hop all the way inside the 20 out to the 17-yard line. Jack Moore, who averaged 31 yards per punt coming in, has to be above 50 here in this game.
Yeah, he is. He's not known for doing all that, but hey, when RCC is a little bit shaken up from that one fumble that they had on a punt return, well, they're a little bit hesitant to return one, I guess.
That's right, off of that fumble. But what are your thoughts of this, Dan? Long Beach City College and Mount Sac, the 2 top teams in Southern California, quote-unquote, both of them trail here near halftime. As Long Beach City College trails by 4 and vice versa. Long Beach by 3 and Mount Sac by 4.
Well, it's sort of the similar thing that's occurring with Riverside. It's sort of they're waiting for that big game the next week.
Would you say Riverside, they played down to their opponents?
It seems like they would. Yeah. And maybe Riverside here is looking ahead to next week's big matchup against...
Well, a big run by Christopher Anderson to try and get their way into next week's ball game. Number 25 for a gain of 25 off a 1st down carry. Way to get things started here for the Tigers. But also your thoughts, as you were talking a little bit about the big matchup next week. Are the Tigers just looking too far ahead?
Possibly. I mean, this is a team that you smashed on 71-0 last year. And so maybe you're like, hey, we could pump the brakes here and just play to a lower level and still get away with the win.
That seemed to happen I don't know if you watched the Los Angeles Lakers last year and their debacle from first to worst, but a lot of that was the fact that they did play down to a lot of their competition last year.
They did.
It's the same with the Tigers. Whenever they play a team that's unranked, those are, in every single contest, the closest they have come to losing. And against unranked Grossmont, they lost by 10 on the road.